Okay, the first half of this did not record, so I'm just going to re-record the first half so that everybody who was not able to be on the call live can hop in and still learn it. So I'm just going to go through the first half of this call. So tonight we're going to be talking about social media and about how all of you are just going to be dominating social media after this call. Live, we went over recognition. We went over the people who are in Success Club, Success Starters, New Emeralds, people who are halfway to Emerald, and I also mentioned that success in this business is not dictated by Success Club. It's not dictated by your rank. I know that so many of you are just completely crushing your volume goals. You're crushing your posting, crushing so many different parts of your businesses, and that is huge. So, if you're not on this board, that does not mean that you do not deserve recognition, that you don't deserve to celebrate. So just keep that in mind for sure. So that being said, let's go ahead and start. So I know that a lot of the coaches on this team have a lot of experience with social media, and I think that that's awesome. And especially coaches who are very comfortable sharing on social media before they sign up. I see them sign up and they eagerly jump on board, and very quickly their entire Facebook turns into workouts and recipes and progress pictures and challenge group invites. And it's so easy to just become like Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody all the time, because this is our new passion, right? This is like this, Beachbody is like our brand new toy. And we're like, how could you not want this? Look at how awesome this is. And a lot of people get caught up in that. And there's this idea that, okay, I have to portray this, fitness persona on social media. And we get really caught up in that. And that can be really crippling. So, but here's the thing. There are a lot of coaches out there on social media who are phony, and they're not real, and they're not themselves, and they're trying to be something that they're not. And so rather than being themselves and sharing their story and connecting to people that way, they're constantly trying to embody this cookie cutter coach that they have in their minds. And I'm telling you that that is no way to be successful in this business. And I say this in my sneak peek all the time. If you've been in my sneak peek, you've heard me say that, when you think about the things that seem like deal breakers, the things that are going to make you like, okay, there's no way I could be successful in this business because of that one specific thing. Those are usually the things that are going to make you stand out in a good way. For example, I hate working out. I hate it. I really do. Like, I enjoyed Core de Force and I enjoyed PiYo. I really enjoyed the 80-day obsession workouts, but pressing play is like torture for me. Just like pressing that button and starting is so hard for me to do. And I love the way that it makes me feel. I love being in shape. I love being healthy, but I hate exercise so much. I hate going to the gym. I hate running. I hate all of it. And you'd think like, wow, who the heck is this chick who's trying to give me fitness advice? But honestly, it's exactly that has connected me to so many women, because there are so many women out there who are in my same shoes. They want to be healthy, but they just don't want to do the work necessary to make it happen. They don't want to eat their vegetables. They don't want to press play on their workouts. And so there I am on social media pressing play every day, despite the fact that I hate it, and learning to love it more and more as time goes on. And that's inspiring to people. That makes people want to take action. So my big deal breaker thing ends up being the thing that causes me to stand out and inspire a bunch of people who would have otherwise never paid attention to my posts. Because there are, so many coaches out there who are faking loving their workouts, and that comes across, right? It's not genuine. So our job is simply to speak our truth and connect with our people who have similar struggles. And so, you might love your workouts, and that's your truth, and you should share that truth, and those are the people that you're going to attract. But I'm attracting my people. There are too many cookie cutter coaches out there who share nothing but workouts and motivational quotes. But what we should really be sharing and focusing on is, sharing our journey, authentically sharing our journey, and raising curiosity into how we're achieving these goals and reaching new levels in our health and fitness and in our business. We should be revisiting stories about who we were and how we've transformed. We should be sharing stories of our challengers and our coaches who've made positive changes in their lives, sharing things that we're passionate about, sharing things that we love, sharing how our new lifestyle has brought on positive change into our life, sharing to encourage and empower and uplift and motivate other people, sharing to entertain or make people smile, sharing to demonstrate our imperfections, the stuff that makes us relatable to other people. You know, to be a successful coach who's going to truly create a movement and inspire a lot of people, you have to be different. You can't stand alone as this perfect Grecian goddess who makes no mistakes and walks around with her perfect journey. So truly, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid of what others might think. Don't be afraid to respectfully share your opinions and beliefs. If you have a specific opinion or belief, share it. Be real. I wouldn't recommend getting super political, but if you want to, then, you know, if that's a huge part of who you are, then do it respectfully. And then just be you, unapologetically share your life, because, you know, while you might feel alone and vulnerable and scared of sharing at first, this is how you're going to find your people. This is how you're going to find, you know, those people who can relate to you the most and the people who want to join you for you. So remember that when you're dealing with that fear of rejection. And no, I'm not saying that you should just get over it. I'm not saying that you should just like not like deal with that at all. Because I mean, you know, come on, it's a struggle for every single one of us. Nobody wants to shoot on an invite and hear no. Nobody wants to come up with this super vulnerable post and then nobody comments on it or likes it or supports it. You know, but just remember that usually 99% of the time, no means not right now. It does not mean never. Usually when somebody says no, they aren't rejecting you, they're rejecting themselves. It took me literally a year before I took this business and truly treated it like a business. I let myself ease into it, and that's okay. You know, I said no to my coach for a year, and then it took me a year to ease into the business. It's absolutely okay to take your business at your own pace. You know, and with that thought, you know, just know that your results are going to match the efforts that you put into this business. But here's the thing. My business is today what it is because I've gotten really comfortable sharing who I truly am on social media and getting real and getting vulnerable. And so I want to talk about that for a minute. I want to talk about, you know, really getting in there and talking about your story and sharing about your story. So most of you know, and just like FYI, if you're listening to this recording, this is heavy stuff. And it's a little depressing, but it's really important to connect to your story. So I'm going to share mine. I'm going to share the parts of, you know, my life that have been hard and that have made me who I am. And I'm going to tell you why when I'm done. So most of you know that I come from a Christian background. But what you might not know is that my dad is a pastor, and I literally grew up in a church. Like literally, I spent probably 85 to 90% of my time as a kid inside our church building, because not only did I go to church there, not only did my dad work there, but I went to school in our church. Our church had a school, and my dad was the principal and my mom was the office administrator. So literally both of my parents worked at my school, and from a very young age, I was known as the pastor's kid. My dad was the assistant pastor of our church, and I was expected to act a certain way and dress a certain way and talk a certain way. And I've never been good at hearing what I should do. And I've never been good at like accepting what other people think that I should be. And so I learned to put my guard up, and I started hiding myself, and I didn't let people in. And, you know, I really just did that because I wanted people to leave me alone. I didn't enjoy feeling like I was in this fishbowl. I don't know if you can relate to like having a lot of attention on your family and on you, but there was just so much attention all the time. And I just felt like, God, can't I just live my life, you know? And I was really a loner for most of my life because I had my guard up, but I had my small group of friends, and there were, you know, very few people that I actually let in, but those people were like my people. And so, you know, then there was the fact that as a little girl, I was bullied pretty relentlessly because I was chubby and I had health issues. So I missed a lot of school, and my friends noticed that and they teased me about it pretty like brutally. And I actually ended up skipping a grade because I had good grades, and I just couldn't handle the bullying anymore. I could not handle it anymore. It got to the point where, I didn't even want to go to school. And so when I finally outgrew that chubby phase and I skipped the grade and I was like in a new group of people and it felt a lot better. I went away for the summer, and when I was 15, you guys know that I almost died because I got really sick. But the one, thing about that phase was that I lost a bunch of weight and I kind of like outgrew my chubby phase, and I realized that boys were paying attention to me. And so I started finding my identity in being desired by boys. And because I had self-image issues, because I had been chubby as a little girl, and I, felt very self-conscious, even though I wasn't chubby anymore. I still saw myself that way. I developed an eating disorder, and that, I, had that eating disorder through most of college till after I got with my husband. And then meanwhile, before I met my husband, I was in a relationship with someone who, really hurt me in a lot of ways. I, that was just a very bad relationship that lasted for quite a few years. And even though I was a total mess myself and all of these things were going on, and I felt unworthy, and I felt like, there were a lot of things going on, even though I was a total mess, I realized that being a good friend to other people and being there for other people and like hearing other people out on their problems really filled my cup. And like, I loved being able to be the person that my friends could go to for support and help and advice. And so, you know, then after I married my husband and realized like, hey, I am really like an empathetic person and I like to be there for people. I got married and we moved across the country to New Mexico. And again, I felt like a fish in a bowl because we got involved in ministry again. And I closed myself off even more. My health problems continued. I was a total mess. My weight started fluctuating like crazy. I had 2 miscarriages. I couldn't get pregnant for over a year. And then during that entire time of being in New Mexico, I was struggling with depression. I was struggling with anxiety. I was feeling completely and utterly alone. I was exhausted and frustrated, and I truly just felt like my world was crashing down. And so, the reason that I share all of that, the reason that I, am giving you all of this like heavy information about myself is because I truly believe that this business is what changed everything. I believe that God used this business to change my life. And I truly believe that because I decided to take a leap of faith and because I chose to get vulnerable and share this stuff on, this crazy public platform, I've been able to not only change my life, but also impact hundreds of other people. And I think that that's really powerful. I know like people who were on the call when I did it live just a few minutes ago, I was looking at their faces and I was like, that person reached out to me because I shared my story. That person reached out to me because I shared my story. Those people were strangers before, and now they're my friends. Now they're, coaches on our team because I was willing to get vulnerable. And it's the same with you, So I want you to think about your story. I'm so sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. Whew. I want you to think about your story. What have you been through? What's made you who you are, And then how can this Beachbody family help somebody who's going through the same stuff that you did? How could you have benefited from this community if you would have had it at that time in your life? That's powerful. I mean, that is so powerful. And I truly believe that the things that we've been through make us who we are. But when I think back and I think, man, I wonder if I would have had this community when I was in college dealing with my eating disorder. Like, that would have been pretty huge. What if I would have had the self-confidence that I have now in high school when I was letting boys push me around? And then use those pieces of your story to write your posts and to share your story. So And then kind of to get off of the heavy stuff, and then I think that this is where I ended when I actually did the call live. So I'll just splice those two videos together. Something super important, and I know this is scary even because we've just talked about like sharing super vulnerable stuff about yourself. Making your profile public is going to be huge for connecting with, you know, strangers and people that need help. And so you can make certain posts private if you need to, and that's totally fine. But especially on Instagram, if your profile is private, you're going to seriously limit your reach and cheat yourself out of connecting with a ton of people you could otherwise help. So here's the deal. Anytime you post on Instagram, you should be adding 30 hashtags to that post. And this is super simple. I have a list of 30 hashtags that I use every single time. Excuse me. And they're all saved in my Google Drive. It's always in the same spot, and it literally takes me 2 minutes to copy and paste those hashtags into the first comment or the body of my post. And I separate it with like periods so that it's further down and hidden in the first comment. But that way, when people are browsing hashtags, your content is going to come up. And this is where brainstorming who you're truly speaking to comes into play. So I want to share about my avatar. Don't try to like read this if it's teeny tiny on your screen, but I want to share about my avatar. So avatar is a term we use to describe our ideal coach or customer. This is someone who would be an amazing fit for your team. This is someone who you would get along great with, somebody who like you just want to be best friends with, somebody that you would work well with. So think about that. Who is your avatar? I'm going to read my avatar to you, and you think about who your perfect person is. So this is who I based my hashtags off of. Just to like be clear. Okay, so meet Lisa. This is my avatar, Lisa. She's an easygoing wife with no kids yet, or maybe with one kid, I can't decide. She's lonely because her husband is never home. She's super skeptical about gimmicky things and is a hugely critical thinker, but she respects other people's opinions and tries not to make others feel lesser just because they believe different things than she does. She loves to read fantasy novels, drink wine, eat really good food, and have long, meaningful conversations and listen to loud music. She loves Jesus, and she doesn't feel guilty about her faults and the fact that she says bad words sometimes, because she believes God created her with all her quirks and loves her because of them, not despite them. She probably uses cloth diapers, even though she really hates cleaning them out. She cares a lot for the environment and makes an effort to minimize her carbon footprint without being too picky about it. She spends a lot of time at the gym but has no idea what she's doing, despite her hours of research and searching for answers. She probably ran 3 miles today, screaming, "This sucks, this sucks, this sucks," in her head the whole time. She also knows a lot about nutrition but doesn't know how to practice it. If someone tried to give her workout or nutrition advice, she would be annoyed by that. Lisa doesn't feel like she's living to her full potential, but she knows that she's capable of great things. She also struggles with health issues, which hinders her from doing more, and she's getting desperate for answers. Lisa wastes a lot of time watching Netflix and doesn't like that about herself. She wants to be doing something that matters. And so that is how I came up with my hashtags. So every paragraph has something that I focused on. I have boy mom, a hashtag boy mom. I have hashtag like normalized cloth diapering. I have hashtag like, I think I have like a bunch of Harry Potter hashtags that I use because I love Harry Potter. I have wine hashtags. I have coffee hashtags. I have hashtags about carbon footprint. I have hashtags about, you know, caring about the environment. So think about who your avatar is and create your hashtags for Instagram based upon those, so that you're not using like fit pregnancy and Beachbody Coach and Shakeology and those hashtags, because if you use those hashtags, guess what? 100,000 other Beachbody coaches are also using those. But if you use like Expecto Patronum because you love Harry Potter, then you're going to get a bunch of Harry Potter lovers who are going to come and look at your posts. And guess what? The cool thing about health and fitness is that every single person can benefit from it. So it's not like you are, you know, it's not like you're going to be alienating yourself as a health and fitness person in a Harry Potter community, because everybody needs health and fitness. Harry Potter people need health and fitness. People who drink wine need health and fitness. People who, you know, are environmentally friendly. They need health and fitness. Everyone needs health and fitness. Okay, so now we're going to talk about more like practical social media stuff. Your pictures should be neat, clear, bright, without lots of text or overlays. Your photos should make people stop. You know, when we're on social media, we're literally scrolling like this. People, like, sometimes I get motion sick watching my husband scroll on his phone because he scrolls so fast, but that's how the majority of people do it, right? And so our job is to stand out so that people see our post and they're like, hey, I want to read what she has to say. So bright pictures that, you know, tell a story. Like in this picture, I have my bump showing. I have I'm showing my little bicep. I'm trying to get people to stop and say, hey, this pregnant chick is working out. That's kind of cool. Because for some reason, people are super inspired by pregnant people working out. And so if you are used to, you know, putting like text on your picture, stop putting text on your picture and just include it in the first sentence in your paragraph. That's how you can grab somebody with your quote, and then go on to help, you know, to tell how it resonates with you via a story. Your updates and captions, write them how you would talk. Just, you know, you can even get onto your voice memo and just record yourself talking and then fix all of the errors. That's a really great way to write a post. And then when you're finished writing your post, read it back out loud. And if it doesn't sound like something you'd say while just like casually talking to somebody in person, then fix it so that it does sound like you. Okay, and now frequency of posting. It used to be that sharing 3 to 5 times every single day was the norm for social media, but that's not the way it works anymore. It used to be, you know, every single day would be a full overview of your life, fitness, health, Beachbody, passions, everything in one day. And those days are over. And that's honestly a blessing because of instead of trying to post 25 to 30 posts per week, we're only really sharing around 14 times per week. So, you know, now it's more important than ever to post less, but have more quality posts. And this is true for both Instagram and Facebook. If you are posting like, you know, something and then posting an hour later, you're competing with yourself and you're burying your own posts every time you do that. So if you posted an hour ago, save your next post for a few hours from now. Get out of the habit of sharing like your time hops, get out of the habit of sharing other people's content. You can always save a picture and make it your own, but get structured with what you share and you'll feel a lot more organized. And if you choose to, you can easily map out your whole week and plan posts so that your week displays your lifestyle and your passions as a whole, rather than trying to squeeze your whole lifestyle into one day, if that makes sense. And then all of the rest of the pictures and the fun stuff and the creative energy, you can put that in your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories, rather than feeling like you have to put everything onto your like timeline. So the goal is 1 to 2 quality story posts. These are posts that tell your story, that either have a call to action or some kind of engagement request, like tell me below, comment below, spam me, drop a GIF, tag a friend, whatever. But you never want to say like this post, comment on this post, share this post, because Facebook recognizes those and they'll bury your post. So be sneaky about the way that you ask for engagement. So let's dig in a little deeper. How do you make quality posts and what do you post about? So remember, our goal is to be super relatable to our niche, right? Super relatable to our avatar. So it's important to know who you're talking to and then market to them and get them super curious about what you're doing. Your social media is not a place to sell. The goal is to get people curious enough so that they're open to learning more one-on-one in conversations behind the scenes, right? Your posts shouldn't sound promotional. They shouldn't sound like you're selling anything. Algorithms will pick that up and they'll bury your posts. And so if you have a great deal and you just like have to tell your audience about it, go live. And that'll come across way more authentically either way. And so, with this, the difference between us and big businesses is that authenticity and storytelling. Big brands miss this. and they miss the storytelling, they miss the authenticity. And this is why, you know, the coaching network is so successful over people going to the website, like going to beachbody.com, because you know, this is our way that we get to stand out. We use authenticity, we use our story, and then, you know, that way you can market anywhere, you can market everywhere you go, and people will choose to work with you because of you, because of your personality, because of your life and your quirks and how they can relate to you. So we're going to end with the color wheel. This is a really, really great way to map out what to share about on your social media. You can literally like just choose one thing from each color wheel, or two things from each color wheel, and that's your whole day of posts. And so you can map out your entire, you can map out your entire week based on the color wheel. So your color wheel is basically designed to help your social media become more colorful rather than being repetitive, in case you've been struggling with what to post about. So your color wheel is going to be filled out with things that make you who you are. So it's not going to be workouts and motivational quotes and that's all, because many of us get into the habit of posting only those things, right? And that's a way to create resistance from our audience instead of curiosity. But so what we're going to fill each of those out with are something that we as coaches can help someone with. So something that resonates with you, important pieces of your story, your passions. So what are 6 passions and quirks that make you you? These are going to be your hobbies. These are going to be your passions. These are going to be specific obstacles that you've overcome, life events. So my 6 might be something like body image issues, you know, as a child. Mine might be coffee. Mine might be toddler mom, right? Like I have a toddler. Mine might be like miscarriage and infertility. That's something that I talk about. I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking, but those are the kinds of things that are your 6 things that make you you. And then 6 other things that can help someone else as a coach. So your 6 things over here that make you you as a person, and then your 6 things that make you you as a coach. So those are going to be weight loss, energy, clean eating simplified, fitness, accountability, confidence, travel, recognition, financial freedom, that kind of stuff. And so make your list of 12 things and then create your color wheel. And then you can map out your week with 1 to 2 posts per day based on your color wheel. And that's 10 to 15 posts per week. So your week should include 2 transformations. That can be an income or like a physical transformation from you or somebody on your team. Your week should include 1 to 2 challenge group invites and 1 to 2 coaching invites. And the rest of it is, and obviously those are also telling your story as well. And then with each of those posts, you're gonna sell your lifestyle, even if it's irrelevant to Beachbody. You're sharing your journey. So every day, imagine your page visitors are coming to your page for some kind of motivation, some kind of tip. Maybe they're coming to you for a good laugh or something that they can relate to. And then, you know, with that, a reason to get off their butt and take care of their health, right? And so you want your page to feel like you're talking directly to that person, your niche market person, your avatar. You don't want your page to be like robotic, copy and pasted. You don't want to rely too much on quotes or Pinterest. And then again, you know, having your profile public is really going to help with that. So now more than ever, posts should be meaningful and focus on building a relationship with your followers. So after reading your post, they should feel like they know you just a little bit better and they can relate to you just a little bit more. And that makes you less of a stranger to them. And that is attraction marketing. That is how you'll find messages in your inbox for people who are like, okay, what are you doing? I have to do what you're doing. And you know, that's going to be the people in your inbox choosing you as your coach before you even have a chance to message them. But it takes time and consistency to get there. So I know that is a lot of content. and I have half of this recorded. I'll record the rest of it. But does anybody have any specific questions? We have just a few minutes left. Everything was super clear? That's what I'm gonna assume. I'm just gonna walk away being like, I communicated that so awesome. Okay, well, your assignment for this call is number 1, to fill out your color wheel, okay? And so I'm gonna post the color wheel in the team page. And this came from Ashley Smith. I did not make this color wheel up. It came from Ashley Smith. She's one of the top coaches in the network and she's awesome. To fill out your color wheel, remember 6 things that make you you as a person, and then 6 things that make you you as a coach. And then schedule your week of posts. And I really, really want you guys to dive into your story and to, figure out, there are some powerful stories in here. Like, I'm looking at your faces right now and I'm thinking about all of the things that you guys have been through, that you've shared with me and that you've shared with each other. And like, there is so much power in that. So I really want you to get crystal clear on your story and write those things down and start sharing those pieces of you in your social media. And I have a really, really exciting announcement that I'll go live with tomorrow. I'm going to be offering a really, really powerful training to the team with my success partner, Ashley. So we're probably going to do that in April, give you guys a couple weeks to ramp up, but I'm really excited. So I'll go live about that tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled and everybody have a good night. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.